Somewhere right now, a decision is being made about how much your money is worth. You were not invited to that meeting. Neither was your government. Not really. Most people assume the money supply is controlled by governments. That is the comfortable version of the story. The real version is stranger, quieter, and a little harder to shake once you understand it. Let us start with a simple question. Where does money come from? Not coins, not paper. The actual money that moves through economies, that pays salaries, funds hospitals, starts wars. Where does it begin? The answer is debt. When a commercial bank gives someone a loan, it does not reach into a vault and hand over existing money. It types a number into a screen. That number did not exist 5 seconds ago. The loan itself is the act of creation. Money is born the moment someone borrows it, and it dies the moment that loan is repaid. This is not a conspiracy. It is how modern banking works. It is in the textbooks. It is just rarely explained out loud. So if commercial banks create money through lending, who controls the banks? Enter the central banks. Institutions like the Federal Reserve, the European Central Bank, the Bank of England. They set the rules. They control interest rates. They decide how expensive or how cheap it is to create new money. They are the architects of the system inside which every other financial decision is made. And here's where it gets interesting. The Federal Reserve, the most powerful financial institution on earth, is not a government agency. It is a private entity. Its member banks are its shareholders. Those shareholders include institutions like JP Morgan, Citibank, Goldman Sachs, the same institutions that benefit most directly from the policies the Fed sets. When the Fed drops interest rates, those banks borrow cheap and lend expensive. When the Fed buys assets through quantitative easing, it buys them from those same institutions, pumping value directly into their balance sheets. This is not illegal. It is the architecture. Now zoom out. Between 2020 and 2022, the United States alone added roughly $8 trillion to its money supply. $8 trillion. More money created in 2 years than in the previous 2 centuries combined. Where did most of it go? Asset prices, stocks, real estate, things owned disproportionately by the people who were already wealthy. Meanwhile, the purchasing power of the dollar sitting in your checking account quietly shrank. That is not an accident of policy. That is the policy working exactly as the system was designed. The people who own the mechanisms of money creation do not need to steal from you. They just get to go first. So, who actually owns the money supply? Not you. Not your elected officials in any direct sense. It is a layered arrangement. Central banks set the conditions. Commercial banks do the creating. Governments borrow from the system to spend. Citizens earn and spend. What remains after that chain has already taken its cut. And the uncomfortable part is not that this is hidden. It is that it is hiding in plain sight, published in annual reports, discussed in congressional hearings, written into banking law. The question worth sitting with is not how this happened. The question is, now that you know, what exactly are you going to do with money that someone else controls the supply of?